You've tuned into Unpause Your Life with Dr. Cali Estes. Your access to success strategies and more to help you move onward and upward with your life. Listen in each week as she interviews others who have really taken their essence to the next level and truly unpaused their life. Now here's your host, Dr. Cali Estes.
Hey everyone, welcome to the show. This is Dr. Cali Estes, and I am founder of the Addictions Academy, the Addictions Coach, and Rehab Rescue. Welcome to Unpause Your Life. This is a great podcast where we showcase people who have done something extraordinary with their life. I welcome you, and I hope you enjoy all of our guests.
On my way, found a reason to wake up another day.
Before we get started, let's hear this short message from one of my supporters.
All the things that you won't do.
Did you know 81% of Americans would like to become a published author? Chances are you might be one of them. What's stopping you? Writing and publishing a book takes a lot of work and is expensive, right? Well, not anymore. For your next book project, or even your first, team up with Hassle-Free Books. They make it so easy to become an author. They remove all of the fuss and struggle and make it smooth and simple. And it's far more affordable than you could ever imagine. Go to hasslefreebooks.com and use promo code UNPAUSE to receive a 10% discount off of any book project. Get started right away and become a published author in as little as 45 days. For your free 1-hour book formula guide, which will show you just how painless it can be to become an author, head to hasslefreebooks.com today.
All right. Thanks again for joining me. Let's get started with today's show.
Took a walk down the dark road where they said that I shouldn't go. I knew the dangers of...
Hey everyone, thanks for tuning in to Unpause Your Life with Dr. Cali Estes, the Addictions Coach and the Addictions Academy. My guest today is Peter DiStefano, musician and guitar rock guru, best known for his work as founding member of Porno for Pyros and his work with Jane's Addiction. Peter has 20 years sober from heroin and other assorted drugs and loves his sober life. Peter believes in honesty and branching off his career to include helping his fellow musicians get sober and live an honest life. Welcome, Peter. How are you today?
Wow. Great. How are you?
Good, good. What's going on in California?
Well, the weather's nice. That's always good. And just playing guitar and excited about art.
Okay, let's talk about your current projects. I hear you've got a bunch of things in the works right now. Tell me about the punk rock storybook.
Well, I was doing this thing where I was like, I have my band Lance Strong. We've been going strong for like 7 years. And it's 2 DJs and a guitar. And then I was DJing also like gangster rap and trap and dubstep and playing guitar and stuff like that. And that was going really good. And then as an artist, music and poetry is everything. When you DJ somebody else's music and poetry and jam over it, it's incredible and it's fun and everything. But then there's the whole, just like if you were on an island and you had no electricity and all you have is the original classical guitar. The classical guitar was made with wood and cat guts in the beginning. And then as we progressed, we invented nylon plastic and we stopped killing cats and using nylon strings. Then steel was invented, and we made steel stringed instruments, and the cat gut was stopped because of the steel string, but then we missed the sound and the warmth of the cat gut, so we used plastic. So I'm playing a classical guitar now and singing, and I'm going to be doing the history of my life up to now and the future as like a storybook live performance with just an acoustic guitar and myself, like a Bob Dylan, early Dylan type of thing, or Robert Johnson would be a great way to explain it.
That's really cool. And you learn something every day. I did not know that the guitar was made with cat guts. I've been around musicians for a very long time, and no one ever bothered to tell me that. That is
Well, that's why it's called a gut string guitar. They called it a gut string guitar.
Okay.
Classical guitar was made in Spain. So,
Wow.
they had like a factory of house cats and killed them and made guitars. So it's an evil instrument.
Oh my God.
But that doesn't happen anywhere anymore.
Yeah.
It would smell and it would go out of tune. And you know what I mean? It's just gnarly. So, and it's just horrible to do to a cat. I have 3 of them. I own 3 cats. So I would never, dream of, I would rather be just like but they did it with drums in Africa. It's all animal skin and wood. It was animal skins or guts with wood. That's how instruments were made until steel was invented.
I have an African djembe.
Oh, wow.
Yeah, it's got the sheepskin top to it. And I was having a hard time here in the States getting it retuned and reheaded because I guess it's a specific type of sheep they use. I don't know.
Yeah.
So I ended up having to get a synthetic, and it sounds totally different to me. But I guess to everyone else, it sounds the same.
Yeah. So, now it's pretty much vegan. It's just trees, and steel. So going back to the original old-time guitar, which was, made in Spain. The guitar was invented in Spain. I'm using nylon string guitars, nylon picks, and I'm going for that old classical sound, but in a punk rock way. And I'm going to jam violently standing up and do Porno for Pyros, the Stooges, my solo stuff, Lance Armstrong, Hell Ride, just my whole history. And I'm going to be writing new songs with no effects, nothing, just a guitar, my fingers, and my voice.
Oh, wow.
And no backing instruments. Yeah. So it's going to be like, I have to use every bit of talent to float this thing. So it's very rewarding for me personally. Being a recovery coach now, nationally certified recovery coach is so satisfying in my soul as well.
Well, I was going to ask you about that. So you're around musicians all the time and have been pretty much forever. And I know you're sober. What are you seeing with them? What is the transition? Is there lots of heroin out there right now? Is there cocaine? What are you seeing?
I am seeing cocaine, and I am seeing Oxycontin pills. I'm seeing Molly and stuff like that. But mainly because of my age and the people I do sessions for and stuff like that. Mainly cocaine and pills and alcohol.
That seems to go with the industry. I mean, even back in the 60s and 70s, it was the cocaine to stay awake, and then the pills to come down to sleep, and then wash, rinse, repeat the next day. To get through, and then to be creative on top of it, because there's such a creative element to what you do in the music industry and in the film industry. You've got to be on your game, and you always have to have a new idea and stay ahead of the competition. How do you feel about being a recovery coach and being on that side of it instead of in front of the camera? You're kind of behind the scenes.
Well, I'm excited to, I guess you would say, be a Robin Hood in, a cutting edge Robin Hood in the recovery business, and help those who don't have the money to do the Betty Ford Center, or don't have the insurance, or don't have the, I want to go after those people and give them a free experience and shot at getting sober.
Are you seeing a lot of
my
that
hope
from your fan base? Are they reaching out?
That's all. Yeah.
Yeah.
Yes. That's all I see. Sorry for interrupting. I'm just so excited.
Okay.
That's what I see. They reach out to me through social media. They get a hold of me and they tell me, and they're sleeping on someone's couch. Their family has abandoned them. Their lovers, everything. They're completely broke, and they're on a friend's couch, or they're homeless, or they're looking to meet someone to get a place to just, they're begging to get well. They don't know what to do or where to go. When I got sober, I had Porno for Pyros and Warner Brothers and all that stuff. So I went through like 8 drug rehabs. I was spoiled. And so I can't imagine. I was abandoned. My wife had a restraining order on me. I was homeless, actually. They cut off the money and everything. But when I made a decision to do something, there was insurance. There was, you know what I mean? They would take me in, you know what I mean? Into the rehab. But if I didn't make a choice to get well, I experienced what it was like to not be able to draw money and to have to steal and be on the streets and stuff like that. So I had to experience that. But once I made the decision to go save myself, the resources were there. I can't imagine making that decision and then not having the resources or the money or the insurance to go get saved. And so that's where my passion lies, is in these people that reach to me that don't have insurance and don't have money or 30 grand to go through Betty Ford Center, and to give them a free experience, to give them and their family a chance, a shot.
That's a great idea, because that's what I do. I've been doing addiction 21 years and helping people get sober and clean and recovered. And I see now more than ever, the resources just aren't available. We have free resources, but the problem is the free resources take 3 to 4 weeks on a waiting list. So when that addict decides to get sober, they're not going to wait 3 or 4 weeks. They're going to go get high in that 3 to 4 week time period and either overdose and die or disappear or just decide, I don't want to get clean now. So we have to have the resources available when they're ready, and we don't. On the flip side, people have become in numbers. They've become insurance policies. They're not people anymore. So when you call a treatment center and say, hi, I want to get help from my loved one, the first question isn't what's wrong with your loved one. That's what it's always been. Now the first question is, what's their insurance policy? And if the person goes, well, we have Medicare, Medicaid, or Obamacare, 9 times out of 10, the person on the other end of that line goes, we can't help you. We don't take those insurance platforms. Then the person goes, what do I do? And the resources are so limited, or you have somebody with no insurance that needs the help but doesn't have the resources. So your idea sounds fantastic.
Well, yeah, I thank you. I want to do it with you, and I'd love to bring in, a friend too who's voiced interest in wanting to do this with me. And is it okay to bring up his name?
If he's okay with it, sure.
I mean, he's down to do this, and we're trying to figure out how to do this. His name's Matt Bradley. He's one of the stars on Deadliest Catch, that reality show where they go in the Bering Sea and do crab fishing. And he's super cool, hard ass dude. He's sober 4 years, and so him and I want to do this and help people that are broke get sober. And we need a doctor, so we'd like you to be the doctor if you're down.
Yeah, that would be fantastic. An actor, a musician, and me.
Yeah, sounds good.
Oh, what a fun time this is going to be.
Yes.
As long as I don't have to go on the fishing boat with him. I've watched that on TV. No way in hell am I getting on that boat.
No, I can't even go on a ride with my son at Magic Mountain. I have motion sickness. So when I went to Magic Mountain yesterday, he went on the rides with his friend, and I was on the grass out front at Valley Park in my Cadillac and had a mobile studio on the grass set up and recording. It was pretty cool. I did that yesterday instead of going on the rides because I'll throw up. In the Bering Sea, going up and down, and it's crazy. I mean, I lived on a boat with Perry for a week, but I took like 2 Dramamines every day, and I was able to survive it.
What was it like working with Perry Farrell? I watch him on TV, and I see how he interacts with people, and how he's on 11 all the time. He's just full of energy.
No, he's fantastic. I mean, there's people that are like Keith Richards, and there's people like Perry, Keith Richards, many people that I know, including management teams, people who can party. Flea was one of them, where they could just, we could do badass drinking and drugs together, and then they get it together. I'm a real alcoholic. I'm a stage 4 guy that, like, once I go, I can't stop until insanity, death, or institutions, you know? And I take it to the gates, and I'll do anything for it. So I don't understand that, but that's what I am. I'm a stage 4. So what I love about getting my certification with you is that there's the 6 models of treatment, and there's the number 2 model, which is, you know, I believe would have been great for people like Chris Cornell or Chester Bennington, you know, which is moderation therapy. Oh, Matt's calling me in. Can I bring him in on the podcast?
Sure, if you want to.
Yeah. Let's do that. Let's do something crazy. Hold on.
Okay. We're going to be bringing in Matt Bradley from Deadliest Catch, I believe. Peter's on the phone with him right now, so this will be fun and impromptu.
Hi, Cali meet Matt. Matt meet Cali. Matt, you're on a podcast.
Hi, Matt. How are you?
All right. Good morning, guys. I'm doing pretty good. I'm on my way into work.
You going on the boat?
No, I'm gonna go back on the boat October 4th. But I've got my vape shops that I run when I'm not on the boat, so heading in there right now.
Nice. Well, we're on a podcast, and so basically the short of it is we want to do this 501c with you, Matt, myself, and Cali, and we're going to be like Robin Hood. We're going to take from the rich and give to the poor. We're going to put people who can't afford to go through rehab, you know, to get a chance like we got, because we had insurance and money to help us, you know, and the industry, where we're going to help people who don't have.
I paid cash out of my pocket last time for treatment. 10 racks. I had to borrow the money, and boy, they were praying to God that I got clean that time. Believe that.
Yeah. It can be expensive. It can be extremely expensive.
Oh, are you guys, is this all going to air?
This is pre-recorded. I had Peter on to discuss his music work, his body of work, and then how he's transitioning into recovery coaching. So he just kind of threw you into the fire as we're live. Tell us who you are.
All right. So, hi, I'm Matt Bradley, recovering addict. Some of you might remember me from the TV show Deadliest Catch, which I'm still a huge part of. Getting pretty close to October 4th here. I'm going to fly back up for the 2017 king crab season and our 14th season of Deadliest Catch.
Congratulations.
Wow, that's fantastic. Are you still on the boat?
Pretty amazing. Yeah, I'm still on the boat. I took a year off to do some entrepreneuring, if you will, and take some time for myself, for the family. I own a couple of vapor stores here in Seattle, Washington, with some really good friends of mine who are also in the program. So it keeps me very well grounded and very busy.
Oh, awesome. What's it like being on one of those boats when it's like rocky and stormy, and is it scary like it is on TV?
You know, it's got those moments where you definitely know there's a higher power out there. I haven't had so many incidents where, you know, like it makes you step back and go, is this really worth the money and the time away from family? You know, like it scares you. You know, the TV show is just like a very small glimpse into our lives. I mean, if you were to take all 13 seasons that have aired, you might have one full king crab season and one full paleo crab season, the 2 seasons that the cameras are usually there with us. You know, they film a king crab season, they might shoot 250 hours of tape on our boat alone. That will break down to like 5 1-hour episodes with 2 to 3 minutes per episode. So you're getting like 9 to 10 minutes of TV time out of every 250 hours of tape shot. So when there's drama, when there's big waves, that's what you're going to get on TV. It's kind of like going to the car races. We don't usually go to watch the cars go round and round. We go to hope to see a fiery crash.
Right.
Does that make sense?
Yeah. Are there times where you get sick of the cameras, where you're just like, just give me, you know, some space and kind of get out of my face? Or
Oh, absolutely. I mean, I'm pretty patient and tolerant these days, but when you've got, our boat was designed for a crew of 4 and a captain, so 5 people. These last 2 seasons that they've filmed, they've had extra people on the boat and the camera crew and all their equipment. So we've had like 11 people on board, and 11 people on one bathroom. That alone is enough to tick a guy off. We've had camera guys, try to create drama that wasn't there.
Yeah.
A quick example was as I was back on the stern of the boat, 40 feet away from everybody else, kind of muttering under my breath, forgetting that I have a microphone on. And I was like, you know what, Edgar can, my ass. And I come back forward, and Edgar's like, what is your problem? I'm all, what's your problem? And it just kind of escalated. And then it went away, and then I went back, and I said some more not so nice things about Edgar. And the next thing I know, I come back, and he's coming unglued. Well, the camera guy was feeding him everything I was saying. And I was like, what I said back there was for me and God and the pot in front of me. No one else needed to hear that. You're creating animosity between crew members that isn't needed. And at the end of time, there's only one of you and 5 of us, so you might want to figure it out. And he tried it again a few days later, and I chucked a coffee cup at him. I'd had it. Make you look like an accident real quick. And then he was scared for his life, which he probably, I didn't want to kill him. I just wanted to hurt him.
Oh my God.
I'm clean. I'm not always spiritual, especially out there.
That's why us 3 are going to be great, because we're outlaws in this thing. It's because God, it says in our thing, the way that we do it, in the first paragraph, honesty, honesty, honesty. That's all you need to be, is honest.
I can completely understand, Matt, because I've been on tour with 2 rock bands in a bus with 4 rock musicians and their crew, and after like 4 hours, I'm ready to hang myself. So I totally get that in the close quarters. Totally get it.
Oh yeah, I've been on the buses with rock and rollers before, and like when it's 10 deep in there, and you got one bathroom, you got some rules. And,
oh yeah.
Life on the road is rough.
It is. It's not always as glamorous as everyone thinks it is. There's spots where it's just plain out boring.
That's why I'm so excited to do this punk rock storybook solo. It's just me and a nylon string guitar on an airplane, me alone in a hotel room, me alone on stage, no drums smashing my ears, drums and ruining my hearing, no loud amps, just plug in direct and sing and play like Robert Johnson, like the old blues guy.
There you go.
You know?
Is it the drummers that make you all deaf? It wasn't the big stack of Marshall amps?
It's everything. It's just having, well, what happened was you have to compete with the drummer. So the drummer, it's all about pushing sound on stage. Whatever's the loudest on stage, you have to have equipment to match what's on stage.
Louder.
But then the singer, that's why you've always had a hard time hearing singers. You know what I mean? Because they didn't, for people up front. And people are up front, on the side, or whatever. So you don't, I learned from Neil Young when we opened up for Neil Young, Porno for Pyros, and we opened up for Neil Young, and it was Paris, right? And we did a little tour with them, and Neil Young had this tiny amp, right? And he mic'd it, and it went everywhere equally. And I had like 3 stacks, like Hendrix, really loud, and it was piercing right in front. But to the side of me, you couldn't hear me, right? Because they had to turn me so down because I was facing the sound man blasting a huge amount of sound. So he's just mixing what he hears. So then when I played Woodstock, to this day, the biggest festival of all time, 350,000 people out front, simulcast around the world, I played with one little Fender amp with one speaker, because it was mic'd and it went everywhere, and it's fucking badass. So you don't really, you should be as loud as the singer. You know what I mean? You shouldn't be louder than the singer, so he has to scream and put in ears to hear himself, There's a way to kick ass. It's called a PA system. You don't have to kill yourselves. Just go into the PA system at the same volume as the singer. Then everybody gets to save their ears, and then you get to go out. And there's a way to do it for a drummer. You can use electronic kits now where you hit it and then you can control the sound. You can use, or play like a jazz player. Jazz players had to use their wrists, Buddy Rich and stuff. They had to use their wrists to kick ass, because they couldn't use their whole arms because, you don't want to kill the singer. You had to be beneath the singer. So you would play with your wrists. And they were more badass anyway because they could do tricks and go really fast and kick ass and do all this shit because they're just using their wrists.
Oh, wow.
Right. So, So anyway, enough of that. Let's do this thing together. Let's start a 501c. We can call it Robin Hood Recovery. You know what I mean? And let's take from the rich and give to the poor and help save some lives.
Sounds amazing.
Okay, so what I'd like to do is have you guys both back on to talk about the future project later so our listeners can tune in to hear what's going on once we formalize some things and maybe talk more to Matt a little bit about the Deadliest Catch.
So this is Matt here, still from Deadliest Catch. I just want to say thank you, everybody, for tuning in. And your warning room where I'm at in my recovery, we just celebrated 4 years a couple of days ago. I'm actually going to get my coin this Thursday night from my sponsor, my home group, And I really believe that recovery isn't for people who need it. It's for people who want it, because if it was for people who needed it, well, we'd all be in some kind of 12-step program, You really got to want this. And, this time for me, after 15 years of being in and out of the program and more in than out, some things have changed through multiple relapses, and with each relapse, I've kind of been able to redefine my recovery and what it was going to look like to me. So I really feel super strong today. I have a sponsor who has a sponsor. I go to meetings regularly. I've worked the steps multiple times. I have a couple of sponsees that are doing fabulous. I've never been happier to have sponsees who are actually doing the do and not just, they're working their steps, they're doing things. It's really impressive to take a broken man and walk him through what it was so freely given to me. So stay tuned for some season 14 of Deadliest Catch in the springtime. And I'm sure I'm going to be back on this podcast sometime soon.
Absolutely, and thanks for coming on. Glad to have you.
You guys are super welcome. Recovery, can you feel it? I can.
Very cool.
I love it. Love it. Okay, this is Peter DiStefano. I'm in the band Porno for Pyros, Lance Armstrong, Hell Ride, and I do a lot of film music. I am very excited about being a nationally certified recovery coach because there's two ways that the courts give you, or a lot of my friends that have killed themselves were given. It was either abstinence with a program or you're out. You take away your dignity. Where I want to, with Dr. Cali, use her 6 models of treatment. And we'll get more into what those models are, but there's 6 ways to save a life instead of 2 ways, either out or in. And I'm excited to educate Matt on that and to utilize that in our 501c that we create to save people who are broke.
Sounds great, Peter. I look forward to speaking with both of you again regarding this new project, and it was great having you both on the show.
Thanks, Kelly.
Hey, everyone. Thanks again for listening. I really hope you enjoyed the show today. Head on over to iTunes and Apple Podcasts and leave a comment or review of what you think. Or contact us at 1-800-706-0318. If you want to be on our show, feel free to email or call. And if you have a topic, feel free to email or call as well.
Thanks for listening to Unpause Your Life. For show notes and more, head on over to unpauseyourlife.com.
Big shout out to recoveryinnovators.com for help producing this show. Thank you, guys.
I took a walk down the long road where they said that I shouldn't go. On my way found a reason to wake up another day. But they needed to show you all the things that you won't do. Find faith or religion, but nothing to show for it. No need to escape in love with my pain. I may be weak, but I'm alive, still alive, and I won't be bound by your mistake. No, I won't be your enemy, trapped at the gate. Bring me to life, put me to death. Just give me something that's just not so hard to believe. To believe. To believe. I took a walk down the dark road where they said that I shouldn't go. I knew the dangers of flying. Now I'm so far from solid ground. But they needed to show you all the things that you won't do. Find faith or religion, but nothing to show for it. No need to escape in love with my pain. I may be weak, but I'm alive, still alive, and I won't be bound by your mistake. No, I won't be your enemy, trapped at the gate. Bring me to life, put me to death. Just give me something that's just not so hard to believe. To believe. To believe. You're right. You're right. You're right. You're right. You're right. You're right. No need to escape in love with my pain. I may be weak, but I'm alive, still alive, and I won't be bound by your mistake. No, I won't be your enemy, trapped at the gate. Bring me to life, put me to death. Just give me something that's just